Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting live here from NGC Studios here in South Florida, and I am joined live by Mr. Apex Gamma, and this is the Apex Samma Show.
Good evening, Chad. Hi, Sam. How's everybody doing tonight?
It's going well, so yeah, in Syrio, we already have people in chat, which is amazing.
That is amazing.
It's amazing. Uh, I'm I'm going to get that intro redone here in the next year. So I think Future Nobody is actually working on like an extended intro. He did an awesome like shortened intro for me,
I
and
love that short little intro. That thing's awesome.
yeah, and we've been working behind the scenes to make me a better intro for the full show. Um, but anyway, I figured I would invite Apex Gamma on here because apparently I'm a Gamma and I need a Gamma co-host to
Yeah, well, hell yeah, man. I'll
help.
be I'll be your Gamma Spirit guide.
So so how is everything in the world of Gamma's Apex Gamma?
Well, I mean, it's good, man. This Gamma in particular. Just trying to keep my head up. I've actually taken a break from most of my content. The pastime that is the shitty content that I create. Just because, as I mean, I had the little the tragedy in the family, and it's just been weighing on me pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Other than that, trying to find the will to get up and keep moving. Pay the bills, much less do anything that's fun. But I'm actually happy to be on the show because I've actually been wanting to come on just to chit chat.
Yeah, well,
See what's new in the world of old Sammy Whitfield.
I appreciate you coming on, and I mean, yeah, we're we're uh, we're here to support you. At least I am, through this tough time, and
Of course, man, and I can't express how much it means to me. That's why that's why I wanted to be here. you know, the
so
comfort of friends from afar is a wonderful thing.
yeah, well, and plus, when you're going through shit like what you're going through, I also find that focusing on Big Bear and then Big Little Bear is
Yeah, Little Big Bear. Yeah,
not the most healthy of activities. So
yeah. I have to admit though, I think it's just like a defense mechanism because I've found the few videos that I have done recently, they actually they actually kind of snapped me out of it because again, I really enjoy making fun of of Big Bear and to a lesser extent Little Big Bear, who might just be next on the list of shitty videos made, at least on my channel. Uh, because it's fun. I mean, the whole reason I started doing it. I mean, I used to talk about trying to help people, which ultimately I still do, but I think I was just kind of deluding myself. The ultimate goal was to just laugh, and to make fun of the guy. I never expected to even have 200 subscribers, much less pushing 700. People seem to enjoy it, and I enjoy doing it. So I've got uh, you know, I have a history of like self-deprecating and self-loathing and stuff. So when I get depressed, I tend to not want to do the things that I enjoy. So you know, like playing guitar, drawing, making fun of retards on the internet, all of it. It's all kind of the same thing.
yeah,
But you get into a funk, and even if you've been in funks before, you can find this particular. I'm finding myself in a little further down than I'm familiar with. You know.
oh yeah, of course. Well, and I'm kind of the same way when when I get depressed, I kind of get into a funk too, and kind of withdraw as well. But it's funny because I do, or at least I used to do, like a more serious political, commentary show that was like
Hmm.
focused strictly on politics. And I've found that like in the last, year or so, really the last, 2 years, if I'm being completely honest, with all like the political BS, it's just shit's not the same as it used to be. I mean, yeah, I think that the Trump administration has brought us many good things. I think that Trump is a good president himself, but just the political climate has gotten so toxic on both sides that my solution
Hmm.
has essentially been to just like make fun of it all and
That's perfect. That's perfect.
you know
Continue. Sorry.
and also including some of these people who are now turning on President Trump and saying, well, we don't have the wall exactly yet, and uh, it turns out that he's a shill for the Mossad and all of this stuff, and like,
Right. Of course.
granted, I never expected Trump to be perfect, but you know, he's still he is still way better than Hillary Clinton, so.
Yeah,
Um,
well, there's no doubt about that. And I mean, your approach, you hit it right on the nose, man. Like it's the same with with Big Bear in particular because I've been making videos about him for what is it? It's been since like February or March or something. And I never deluded myself into thinking I was really going to make any real impact on him as a creator or his personality. Secretly, I kind of hoped, but I never really thought I would. I never really imagined I would, especially not with the way I make videos. If I could do porcelain style shit, then maybe, because we all see how that got to him. But like the after all this time and only watching, I thought it was bad. I thought he was bad when I got out of his community or his, his chat. And that was in like March, February, back when he was just starting to touch the flat earth stuff. And I'm like, the most egregious thing he had done, which is still probably the most egregious thing he's done, is, doxing people on stream and accusing them of attempted murder. But since then, the rhetoric and shit, the things he says and he gets away with, is like it's been very demoralizing. I'm not gonna lie, but I I've realized that's just thinking about it the wrong way. Like thinking that or realizing that I can't really affect any change, and just using it for what it is, entertainment for me and the handful of people that want to watch it. Like instead of getting blackpilled about it, it's the same thing with the political climate. There's more things to make fun of and laugh at than there is to dwell on and be all black pilled about, you know?
Yeah. And also, there are still some there are I would say, oh, first fell ball, first dislike of the stream. Hi Chuck. So
Yeah. Aw.
but anyway, yeah, like I was saying and like you were saying, yeah, I mean there's a lot more, you know, I mean, obviously you've got to, parody some of this stuff, some of the time. But there's like a lot more, to all of us, too. Just besides all the internet drama, And the other thing is, I haven't gotten, I haven't started any beefs with anyone. I mean, I think that you and I have both gotten pulled into beefs more than anything. So, yeah,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, I'm just a simple pop culture critic who oh did Skype die?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we're back. Damn
Oh
you,
yeah.
damn you, Bill Gates and your shitty software. So
I
Uh-huh.
wanted to hop over to the stream so I could see the chat. Hi, chat.
Yep. Thanks.
Um,
Thanks, chat. Very cool. So,
um, but yeah, dude, shit. What was I gonna say? Or you were in the middle of saying something, weren't you?
oh, I was just saying, I'm just so here's essentially how the past like 12 years of my life has gone in terms of the show. I've gone from culture critic guy to political guy back to culture critic guy slash you know, political guy. So, you know, nothing has really changed for me in terms of how I do on my show. So, but
Well, and to be honest with you, in this day and age, I think that approach is what's going to be the best because for one, you're not restricting yourself to something like at first you may have been super passionate about politics, but like you said, you put yourself into that box, and if at any point in time you get sick of making that content or are tired of making, like I think one of the reasons that, like, for instance, just to use him as an example, PewDiePie has 100 fucking million subscribers is all the goofy and dumb shit that he's done. He's always been like himself, more or less. He's always done what made him happy, and ultimately made the content that he wanted to create. You know what I mean? And people have followed that. And I think that's important for in this sort of climate with content creation.
yeah, and also to and I mean also what I've done is I've experimented a lot with this show too, you know, in terms of like I started doing politics and then I did and then like the reason why I started doing movie critiquing because Jason from On Tap actually asked me about this a few days ago. But like, I mean, I did one review podcast of Dave Chappelle's latest Netflix special, which is great, um, and people like that. So I started doing more of that. So this year,
Yeah.
and then
Well, I think it's. Go ahead. Sorry.
you and I have been talking about Netflix movies and all that stuff, and that's a big hit. So
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's part of the reason. It kind of goes in line with what I was just trying to say, where like if you look at some of the I mean, not even like the most popular channels on YouTube, but if you look around at like review channels, just pop culture reviews, whether it be video games or movies or both, I mean, there's a consistent following for hundreds upon hundreds of channels. I mean, I even follow a couple of different reviewers of things just because I like getting different perspectives, and I think most people do.
yeah,
And if people like you as a personality and they see you putting up a review or an impression of something that they're interested in, even if they don't watch everything you do. I mean, again, this is me speaking from experience. Like, fucking, I can't even think of anybody off the top. The Angry Joe show. I fucking hate that dude. But he's put up reviews that I've watched because it's of something that I'm interested in, and I haven't found anybody else that has either done a review that's worth a shit, or I've seen nothing but the opposite. I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, Angry Joe. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I don't hate Angry Joe, but I don't. He goes a little overboard on the theatrics to the point where
Yeah,
it distracts
yeah,
from what his videos are. So
I agree. Yeah, for sure.
I
But
I
yeah, go ahead.
I just recently found, and you know this. I recently found the Critical Drinker on YouTube, and I'm like, how have I not found this guy until 2 months ago? So
I'll tell you how, man. Because when I found him like 6 or 7 months ago, that dude had like 15,000 subs, and he grew slowly to like 50, and then he just went. His subs went through the roof over the last couple of months. He deserves it though. He's actually an author.
yeah,
He's got a whole series of books. I can't remember what they're called, but I like his style a lot, man. He's probably my go-to for I mean, anytime he uploads a review of something, whether I care about it or not, I usually watch it because he's fucking hilarious, man.
You want to know what's funny is I actually found the critical drinker. I kid you not, because I had because there's that one you know a mutual friend of ours who is the master Owen Clipper.
Sure.
He posted the video of Owen accidentally cracking that beer bottle,
Oh
opening.
God, I love that clip.
And so in the recommended next to that, they were like, "We recommend Captain Marvel review by the
Oh yeah.
by the critical drinker." And so I'm like, and the other funny thing was next to that same video were a bunch of reviews for like different beers too. That's what was so funny. So so yeah,
That's awesome.
so the YouTube algorithm, for all of its faults, can sometimes, be uh, pretty bit, can be pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it can be a shining beacon of modern technology sometimes, machine learning and shit. Like there have been times that the algorithm has just been like, "Whoa, I don't know why you thought I would like this, but I'm so glad you suggested it to me," kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm a little distressed uh, that I found the critical drinker because of Owen Benjamin. But hey, I guess that's one positive. So
Well, you know what? Realistically, who knows? The fact that I don't know, man. I was gonna go conspiracy. Like maybe because I watched Critical Drinker and I watch your show, maybe they thought you would like Critical Drinker
you
because I watch your show.
You
you know,
you know what though? That's actually not that far. That's actually not that far off. You know,
I mean, it could very well could be. I mean, if we watch anything close to this, like which I imagine we do, if we watch similar content on YouTube, it would stand to reason.
shout
Anyway,
shout out to shout out to Joe Bowers. So too.
what's up, Joe Bowers?
Well, he's not in the chat, but I'm just giving him a shout
Oh
out
yeah, he
because
deserves a shout out for sure.
yep for you know being not only has he called out Big Bill, but he Big Bear, but he also confronted Bill Crystal too, like 15 years ago. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
so,
That's it's a winner in my book.
and and Bill Crystal is like one of the you want to talk about like never Trumper neocon who I absolutely despise. Bill Crystal is the never Trumper. So
He's that man, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not super caught up on all his goings on, but the the name is synonymous with just with gross in my like subconscious, so like a
speaking
gross, you know what I mean?
speaking of not speaking of not gross though, Alan Powell is here in the chat, the man of many aliases and personalities. So,
The
um,
hero of men.
the hero among cowards. So,
Yeah, the hero among cowards. That's what it was.
oh 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 7 to you too, Alan. So,
So yeah, I did actually want to tell you to change gears into the pop culture thing again.
yeah, please
I
do.
uh, I am 4 years late, but I have finally had a chance to watch, which I think I was mentioning this in your chat the other day, but I finally have had a chance to watch Rick and Morty for the first time in my whole life. And
And
I get it. I understand the hype. Like I had a feeling I knew it was going to be funny. I mean, not many people couldn't, praise it and it not be, but I wasn't expecting it to be quite so funny.
yeah, so what do you like? What do you like about the show?
Well, I mean, for me, because of I guess my generation, South Park, Trey and Matt are like the pinnacle of just comedic geniuses to me, especially when it comes to, anything. on TV. But I mean, I don't know. I'm a big fan of using my brain as I'm, being entertained. I don't like just, mindless entertainment, like the fucking Transformers movies and Michael Bay fucking explodes. Sometimes that can be all right. And, some people can do it well, but
Yeah.
I like to be engaged. And, I mean, what's not to like about it's essentially like I look at it like if Back to the Future were written for Doc Brown to be like a fucking acid tripped out fucking hippie in the 60s. I don't know, dude. There's very little that I don't like about it, to be honest with you. So far, I've only been able to watch like the first season and a half, like really watch it and pay attention to it.
Y-
But I
You're
mean, the
you're you're still good though. So,
mhm.
um also shout out to future nobody who's feeling left out and who needs a who needs a shout out even though I gave you a shout out for making the intro at the beginning, future nobody. So, but and now he's timed out. Good job, YouTube administrator. So,
What happened?
future nobody got timed out. So,
Oh, I was like, YouTube administrator. What's that?
uh, YouTube administrator is modded our chat. We're honored to have an actual YouTube administrator.
Oh, that's
Although I think I know who this particular YouTube administrator is. So
you're moving up in the fucking world, man.
yeah, I made it back up to 540 subscribers this week. So uh,
Nice. By the way, hit the like button, you fuckers.
yep, hit the like button, and also I will be I will be having announcements regarding the show plans for next year. So, um, so, um,
That's exciting.
but yeah. So people have been asking about daily content, um, and I might be doing some daily content next year. But we'll have more announcements regarding that in the future. So.
I think that's a good idea. Little one-off videos about shit.
Yeah, maybe one off podcast behind a behind that that we encourage people to support the show with. So
Right. Yeah, that's a
um
good idea, man.
so um so have you had the chance, speaking of movies, are you a Star Wars person at all? Every
Yes, I am a Star Wars person. I, like most Star Wars people, have become very jaded to the whole thing over the last several years. But it's funny that you ask because the whole reason I have the opportunity to watch Rick and Morty is because my girlfriend got the Disney Plus package, which came with Hulu and ESPN Plus, I think. And the first thing that I thought when she told me about Disney Plus and Hulu, I didn't even think Rick and Morty was The Mandalorian because I've heard good things about it. I still have not had a chance to watch it, but
you haven't had a chance to watch The Mandalorian.
I have not yet.
It's good. I'll just
I've heard that. I have heard that, which is exciting. But you know what else is good as far as Star Wars content goes? And it was such a surprise, and it makes me so happy because I also grew up playing video games. Video games, I don't do it nearly as much as I used to, but
s-
like I like to sit down and play video games sometimes, but there just haven't been any for years that were worth a shit. But that newest Jedi Fallen Order game that came out is it's a single player story mode game. You buy the game, you've got it. You play this fucking story, and it's canon, and it takes place between the original trilogy or the prequels and the original trilogy. So it's like a episode 3.5 type thing. But it is really, really good. The story, it's so good. It's the best Star Wars like story, just overall experience that I have had since I was a little kid watching and I know people hate the prequel trilogy, but I grew up watching them and I loved them. I mean, some
So
cheesy acting here and there, but
so did I. So
I mean, those lightsaber battles were the source of many like PVC related injuries for me when I was a kid, so swinging shit around trying to fucking you know be like
yeah.
Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon.
Well, I'm pretty sure my friends and I just poked each other's eyes out with the
Oh,
point with the
right.
with the pointy ends of the lightsaber. So
Yeah.
um,
You probably had better lightsaber toys than I did growing up. We had those weird like plastic tubes, incrementally smaller plastic tubes. You like whip it out and it makes like a cone,
oh
and
yeah,
then you
and
like
I
you know
had
what I'm talking about?
I had those too. I don't. You and I are not that far apart
That's
in
true.
age.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I look
I
at
just think it's so young.
I look at the star. Well, thank you. I do look youthful. You look youthful too. So
Thank you, Sammy.
I
So
I,
sweet.
I don't I don't want to dox you, but people have said that you look like a young Moby. So
Well, people
uh,
have been telling me recently, and maybe you can answer this, that I sound like fucking um oh shit, 80s kids movie star. Oh, Corey not Haim,
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman. I've had multiple. I mean like 7 or 8 comments over the last month or two that either asked me if I was Corey Feldman or tell me that I sound like Corey Feldman. And
When
I mean, I don't think I sound like Corey Feldman, but it's kind of freaking me out because, 1 or 2 people is one thing, but just randomly my comment from videos from like months ago, I'll get a comment and I'll pull it up to heart it. And it's like, you sound just like Corey Feldman, by the way.
I keep
Oh, that's weird.
I keep getting Sam Hill. You sound like Sam Hill. Hey, I don't know who Sam Hill is actually. I'm supposed to. I guess I'm supposed to know. I guess Sam Hill is like some podcaster or I don't know. I think Sam Hill might have been with Opie and Anthony at one point, but I don't know. Um, but
I'm not sure.
yeah, so
One step says I sound exactly like him.
yeah, you sound. He says that you sound exactly like him. Watch Lost Boys. Lost Boys is good because of Kiefer Sutherland. So, um,
Lost Boys is good because it's Lost Boys. I mean, it's like
well, that
it's as
too.
it's as nostalgia filled as it can get for me.
And I'm a big Kiefer Sutherland fan too. So, um, no,
You know,
don't you dare on sub future nobody. Don't you dare. So. I've got a nice 540 subs, boy. So
a nice round number.
so I
So you were saying, I don't even know when you were saying this. I think it was when you were on stream the other night, shirtless. um, did you say that you started watching Mindhunter, or you were going to,
yeah
about to?
I started watching Mindhunter and I like it so far. So
It's good. It's different, man. It's everybody that I've had watch it. It's a weird type of psychological thriller because it basically the whole show is just dialogue. I know we've talked about it before, but I actually recently, and I say recently, it's been a couple of weeks now. Um, just started rewatching it just because I find it entertaining, and it's just all camera shots and dialogue. It's fascinating.
that's how the show Mad Men is too. So
Yeah, you were telling me that. I've that's still got to watch that one too.
yeah, Mad Men's a really good show. So I went back and rewatched El Camino, and I have to say that you're right about El Camino. I still liked it, but I think now that the nostalgia uh, thing is over. I mean, it's
Yeah.
good, but it as a standalone movie, it's not that good. So
Yeah, see, and I mean, it actually kind of broke my heart as I was watching it because I was so excited for it, and I wanted it. I mean, everybody loves those characters, and I mean, just seeing them on screen again was, filled me with all kinds of feels, because again, I just seeing Jesse. But the other thing is like the what was the redhead kid's name that shot the little boy on the motorcycle that ended up kidnapping Jesse?
oh,
What's
Todd.
Todd? He was all like he looked like he'd aged 15 years. Like he had a bunch of weight. He didn't even look like
Yeah.
the same guy, and I mean, there's little things like that that took me out of it. But again, I mean, I feel like if you would have asked any random Breaking Bad fan, even 5 years ago, or right at the end of the show, what do you think happened to Jesse? What would you think? Let's assume Jesse got away. How would you think he would do that? I mean, it's like it all seems so obvious, and nothing really happened. Like, we didn't learn anything new, really. And I mean, again, it pains me to say it, but because I like it as well, but it just it seemed like a waste, to me. What they did with this, they should have done within a year of Breaking Bad being done. They should have fucking went hard and did a little vignette, a little uh, hour and a half post season type thing. I don't know. I mean, it just seems like they could have done exactly the same thing, just 5 years earlier, and it would have been better received for me. It just, again, I don't want to sound like I don't like it. It just kind of seems like not not a cash grab, but kinda like milking that cow. Because like Vince Gilligan hasn't done anything since Breaking Bad, as far as I know.
If they had
Uh,
no, not to my knowledge either. If they had even waited like because you're saying like they should have done it in a year. Let's say they had like done it within 2 years. Okay, I that would have still been good, but like the series has almost been off for almost as long as it was on. So
right, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I that's the why I brought it up that one night that I did, because it had been eating me, and I don't really, you know, none of my friends really give a shit about any of that sort of thing, and none of my coworkers really. And plus, I don't not conversations that I carry with most people. Like talking about work or how do I fix my fucking this or that, whatever. But yeah, so I was just curious if that was if I was just being overly cynical, or if anybody else, either of you or Alan at the time, had seen it, and if you what you thought about it, because I wanted to love it, but man, like just it was just such a overall nothing. I mean, I have to admit the scene when he goes to the body shop to get the rest of the money or whatever, um, from the dudes, you know what I'm talking about? When
oh
Jesse
yeah,
goes to get
yeah.
the body shop, right? That scene was probably the best part of the whole movie, in my opinion. Like the most tension, just because I wasn't sure where it was going at that point.
I agree. Although I also said in my initial review of that, I didn't even remember like who any of those body shop guys were. You know, I
Yeah,
don't.
I don't know. Were they in the show? Because I don't remember them being in the show.
I don't remember them being in the show either. So and you,
Yeah, I think they were just in the movie to be, baddies for the movie. Because again, at least I could be wrong. They could have been in the show at some point. There were a lot of characters, you know, uh, on and off screen.
yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah, I have yet to rewatch it, but mostly because I felt like it's left such a bitter taste in my mouth because again, it was so nice to see the characters and everything else, and just to see Vince Gilligan's writing, and just all of it was nice, but it just overall felt like just so flat to me, and it bummed me out.
Well, I don't think it was as quite as bad as like what George Lucas did to the original trilogy when he tried to remaster them. But
Yeah, yeah, I would have to agree with that.
you know, or when oh, Future Nobody says Breaking Bad is horrible. Apex horrible.
Hmm.
I
I know,
think
I know. Listen, future. I know it's hard for square brains to wrap around uh, such a thing, but you'll get there one day. I promise.
I think Future is also deliberately trying to troll us too. So
Of course he is, man. He's future nobody. I don't know that. I'm not sure he does anything else. That's
and here I am. I keep trying to encourage the lad that he's going to be future somebody one day. So
I was actually thinking about making a channel and calling it Actual Nobody to fuck with him. I
uh
just gave it away. Yeah.
well well that's what little Big Bear called him. So
Oh, does he? I didn't know that.
yeah, he was like, "Hey, future nobody, you're actual nobody." So um
That's basically what Owen said to him. He's like, "Hey, future nobody, you don't have to put the future on there or some shit like that." Like, I mean, don't they get it? Like, oh God, just play right into it.
Yep, internet drama for the most part is gay, but it also can be amusing sometimes. So
You know, I like to take the Mr. Medicare approach. I just like to laugh at people, man. I mean, I do stupid shit all the time, and I mostly encourage people to laugh at it because it's funny. I mean, I'm man enough, and I'm humble enough to laugh at my own mistakes, especially when I do something really stupid, which we all do. But the internet allows people to broadcast it, and that's why. I mean, I've had people make a lot of suggestions for content that I should make, like, and I'm really, if YouTube or making videos or doing streams is like a thing for me, it's going to be laughing. Like that's going to be I mean, that'll be the loose premise of what I do in any real field or topic or whatever form or fashion. It's going to be based on laughing at people, more or less, just
well
because it's important. I think.
I do stupid shit now just to amuse these people. I mean, hell, I that the only reason I took my shirt off the first time on stream was to amuse Evil Eric because he didn't think I would actually do that. So
Well,
um,
you amused me. I asked you to do it the other night, and you had some. I don't remember whose name, but it was apparently an old friend of yours was in the chat. It's, man, who? What was his name?
yeah, Jason from
Um,
On Tap.
was it Jason? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He was like, "What the fuck is going on in here?" Like, yeah, Sammy takes his shirt off. That's what happens in here.
Uh,
Deal with it.
yeah, it might have been. Oh, that was also Eric. That was, you know, that was also Eric, the one liberal friend we have. So on the show, yeah, Eric was
Eric, that's who it was. Eric. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking. I think.
not evil
No, no,
Eric.
no, no. I know. I remember. I remember. It was Eric because that's what I was thinking when I first saw his name, but his emoji didn't match, and there was like an extra letter in there.
So and also Shady J says do it do it again. So, let me link you to my PayPal account first, Shady J. So, um, actually, my PayPal is up in the left hand corner of the screen here, but not that anyone really donates to this show anymore. At least not yet. They will though here soon enough once I start milking more cows here. So
Well, I think that's the more regular content will help, even if you just upload a video. Like that's another thing. A lot of people get um, their news from people on YouTube who literally just will upload a video and read an article and like give a quick opinion about it, and then what I'm saying, upload a 8-9 minute video talking about an article that they find particularly interesting and talk about why they think it's interesting, and then end the video. And uh, the more content, the more regular, and not even more regular, but more um, like consistent and semi-frequent, the better off. Especially for growing an audience on YouTube, anyway. Like, I feel like the only reason I have as many subs as I do is because I've uploaded so many fucking videos, and there's enough people that you know either know who Owen is and hate him, or have seen him and dislike him, or I mean, there's plenty of people that are subscribed to my channel that are Owen fans, big Owen fans. They claim they follow me because they like to get the other side of other perspectives, anti Owen and Owen. They like to balance it, which I can't knock them for that.
hey, look, I've in look here's the other thing too. I've always said if you want to watch if you want to watch Owen, go ahead. If you want to watch ROTC, go ahead. Go ahead. If you want to watch, the Young Turks, like, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a free fucking country. You're right. Go ahead.
I'm
Sorry.
I'm not one of these people who's like, well, if you watch this channel, then you can't be a part of my community, or whatever. I'm like the more subs, the merrier. So like, yeah, we might not even, we might not always agree on shit, but that's part of the fun here is getting views that we don't always agree on, and that's how stuff used to be, but now everyone loves internet drama, so
Well, dude, we'll think back
and not in
before,
not in like a
even
good
before
way.
before the internet was like as prevalent as it is. Back when, like, when reality TV started becoming a thing, and even before that, like, drama is conflict, and conflict is like seems to be necessary for the human experience. And some people thrive on it more than others, but the internet allows way more access to it. So
And conflict brings us gold. Ah.
hey.
Sorry, I had to do that. So
That was perfect, man. uh, oh, shit, I'm gonna die. um yeah, I mean, I just think that it's not anything. I don't think humans are behaving really any differently than they always have, or at least reacting towards drama, like the human drama and drama between humans. I just think that, again, the internet is a megaphone for everybody, and people are really stupid. There's a lot of really stupid people out there, and even the ones that aren't stupid um, don't tend to help themselves on the internet. Plus, you factor in people that the trolls that help you look stupid by their by their own machinations, however we fucking say that word. um but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's unusual. It's why I don't really, I've to be honest with you, I was a big fan of the Kill Stream back when they were right before their heyday, and including up and up to their heyday on YouTube before they got banned and before the whole gun thing. And that show was basically like it was conflict. They would have guests on and guests on with conflicting opinions. I don't know if you ever watched it or if have ever heard of it, but
Yeah.
it was actually really good. I like, and it was basically just mostly conflict. Then people would call in and talk shit, and whoever the guests were would rebut. And it was, I don't know, it was like sometimes it was a real shit show, but like the Monday Matt exposure, I think is still just one of the greatest things I've ever seen on the internet.
Oh yeah,
Um,
well, and here's the other thing too. People are like, "Oh, well, you're just jumping on the mundane Matt thing because of this actually was one serious thing. People are like, you just want to jump on the mundane Matt thing because if they're done with ROTC. And look, I like I like mundane Matt, and I always have. And the other thing is, I don't necessarily dislike, you know, there are a lot of channels that I don't dislike. Really, Owen is the only one who I have a strong, disliking for, other than the Young Turks. But, the rest of them I could kind of, take or leave. So,
well, I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to say. There's a lot of things on, especially like on YouTube, that I hate. But again, the algorithm has done a pretty good job of keeping them away from me, so I don't see much of them anymore. But um, there's just but as far as individual people trying to make trying to be creative, and I think that's the real thing that bothers me. There are people that you can tell are just trying to you, and I'm not going to say any. There's one in particular that comes to mind, but the people that don't actually have any talent and are just that are basically miniature Owens without the Hollywood experience, without any actual history of doing anything ever, and then pretending that like the whole of the internet owes them something because they, you know, trolled somebody once and they had somebody else on their podcast once. I mean, as opposed to people that do it because they enjoy it. Like I can tell, like I will say some good names. People like, um, like Sam Whitfield for one, but Philip Wave. No matter what he does, it's always I can tell he's having fun when he does it. And most of the time, I don't even know like what the fuck he's talking about, but it's always funny, and it's always like again, I react to passion, I guess. It's the same with music. I like all types of music as long as I can. Even I used to hate electronic music because I didn't think it was real music, but if I can feel it, if I can tell there was effort put into it, I can at the very least, appreciate it and respect it. And the same goes for content creators. I am subscribed to so many channels, and I don't watch all of them, but I watch a lot of them because they all offer something different, and some of them are really unique. Some of them are, sort of carbon copies of others, just with a little bit of a different spin. And it's how we consume, how at least how I consume a lot of my uh, media nowadays.
yeah, well, and it's funny that you bring that up because have also asked me, well, Sam, are you worried about the YouTube, apocalypse on December 10th? And honestly, the answer is no. I'm not that worried, because for me, like I'm a podcast guy, so my main format that I've always worked in is audio podcasts, and
Right.
if YouTube kicks me off, will it be a bummer? Yeah, but I mean, if worst comes to worst, I'm good just doing standard audio again because that's always what I've done. I mean, yeah, doing live video is fun, and having like being able to show clips and have guests, on with me is fun. But you know, honestly, like I'm not going to be all that brokenhearted if YouTube gets rid of this channel. Um, and part of that is because I'm not making money from YouTube. That's definitely part of it. But also, I mean, YouTube is kind of like it's just one of many platforms that people have access to. So,
Yeah,
um,
right. Yeah, for sure.
and speaking of great content creators, I mean, when I first met Alan Powell, I met him, through Facebook. I had no idea who I had no idea how talented Alan Powell was. And then I heard him do the Bobby the Ghost persona on a cooking video that he did on like an alt channel, and I just thought how great is that he can do the perfect New Englander voice. So
Yeah, I think I mentioned it one night on stream with you, but it's one of the things that I was working out with my little brother. We were going to do like a redneck, uh, like tag team, like redneck reviews type thing and talking our hillbilly accents. I've got a bunch of stupid fucking voices that I can do that I've just like been trying to figure out how to incorporate them into a into something.
yeah, I would certainly be willing to do something like that with you. My redneck is horrible, but I have a couple of I have a couple accents. I actually do have an East Coast accent that I used to be able to do. So
Hey, there's an idea, Sam. So what? Question mark 11 in the chat says asks if you're doing a show where people can call in. Which I mean, that's I don't imagine that's what you're doing right. We're doing right now, but that's always a good idea.
well,
A call in type shows are always fun.
yeah, well the reason they're asking is because Apex and I are chatting on Skype, and for the viewers, the viewers can't see Apex, but they can see a Skype window where
Oh,
so, but
well, I guess I can.
that's fine. So, but yeah, we I might get like a Skype phone phone number. So, Alan Della says, "Look at those fucking clouds, guys." So, I heard I heard it
Hey, fat kick boy.
I heard it in his exact voice. All right, this is fucking Jimmy the Ghost here. I am the younger brother of Bobby the Ghost, and I want to give a shout out to fucking Pot Awful. That that dude has some That dude has some gnarly long hair, and he looks like fucking Lennon and shit. But I'm surprised nobody fucking made that comparison to him. They call him Shaggy. He don't look like Shaggy, but he looked like John Lennon mixed with a mixed with a fucking stoner. Anyway, be sure to subscribe to my good friend Apex Gamma and to
The
Bobby the
Whitfield report.
Ghost. So, hmm. Well, I have no idea where that came from.
That was
So,
awesome.
so, um,
It's amazing.
yeah, I I don't think I've ever, I know that So What has been in the stream here before, but, yeah. Also, shout out to Fat Keck Boy. So, um, yeah, Ev-
Andrew,
yeah, we have everyone in here tonight. So,
Donnie Lagouche is doing a dime in the pen upstate. He ran over a horde of penguins again, and this time they threw the book at him. God
uh,
damn it, Donnie! Listen, I told that Donnie. He called me 3 weeks ago, and I done. He told me he was after them fucking well dressed little slick bastards, and I told him they were going to get him this time. Donnie, yeah, that's Bobby's older brother. I'm aware. He's my dearest friend. He's how
no, oh
he's how
that
I know.
Oh, that's right. So yeah. So there's Jimmy. Then there, I'm Jimmy. Then there's fucking Bobby, and then there's Donnie. Okay, Donnie's kind of the dumbass of the family. So um so so what says thank you for streaming both of you. You know what? So I rarely do call-ins, but if you want to come on the show, I'll add your Skype. I'm sure Apex wouldn't mind if we take a call. So
Listen, I don't give no fucks about anything, man. I'm here as a guest for you. And I'm here as your guest. So you make the call, and I'll fucking roll with it, man. That's what I do.
well, let's see how this goes. It'll either go really good or really disastrous. But
Get them negative old thoughts out of your head, there, buddy. It's gonna be great.
yeah, well, we could get another prankster, so that happens every once in a while too.
Well, why
So,
wouldn't that be fun?
it always is. It always is fun. Block Talk Radio was the worst. So when I used to have the show on there, so okay, I I think I've got you added. So what if it's Skype? So what? So is it Skype? So what? Or so with a question mark? Because I've got Skype. So what? And sorry for you folks who can't see this. This is behind the scenes. So all right, let's give this a ring here.
Boom, bing, bong, but it on bing, bong.
All right. Um, Skype. So what? Unavailable. So
Well, all right then.
oh
Well, now, Alan, I'm not so sure if I've never actually tried a Dr. Phil, okay? But I think I would need more things to say, but I think I maybe could do it. As
uh
as as my mama used to say, you never give a gorilla a cup of pudding, okay? End quote.
No, no, see, no, see, Bobby. What you have to understand is this is Doctor Phil here. Uh, what? Why am I doing Vox Day as Doctor Phil? So
I don't know. Your brain is
now,
fucking poisoned.
what you have to understand is, Vox Day stole my bit. He needs psychological therapy. That box does. So uh I just tried adding you again. So what? And I couldn't get you. So are you maybe I need to add you as a Skype contact first. Let me try that. So, but yeah, I mean, Vox Day, Owen, all of these characters. I never thought that this would be what the show turned into live, and yet it has. So,
Well, listen, man, you got to fucking roll with it. All right, this is what the internet gods are giving us, and it's you know what? There are 9 people watching. That's 9 more people than I've ever had watching me live. So you're
well,
doing big things, Sammy.
yeah, well, I mean, nine people is good. And now it's not 20,000. It's not like
No,
it's not like 25K, but nine. Well, let me put it this way: the nine people that are here, I know that they're real people too. So that's the that's the other thing. So.
well, yeah, but you also get a lot of audio podcast viewers too, don't you? Like people that listen.
Oh yeah,
After.
I get a lot of those. So
Right. So
okay,
um,
okay, yeah.
let's let's try to get so what in here again.
Yeah. Well, I'm giving him my Skype ID. So this will be in the chat, and I don't really care if people have my Skype ID. So
Well, don't say
uh,
that, Sammy.
nah, the phone number is the important one. So um, so
Damn, it's cold.
it
Fucking cold out here, man.
It's cold. It's cold where you're at. I thought you were in one of those warm climates. So was I mistaken? So
Oh no, fuck no. I'm way up by fucking Lake Michigan, man.
oh okay. Well, shoot then. That explains it. I feel bad. So
I'm from a warmer climate. I was born and raised in South Texas. I didn't see fucking snow till I was like 17 years old.
what what took you from Texas to all the way down to Michigan? Work or
Family, actually. It was kind of I was young. I was like 17, and I was no, actually, I was 18, and I was living out on my own. Well, I was living with my friend in an apartment. And long story short, um, mom mom's husband just like up and left her. She lived up here, and it wasn't going great for me where I was anyway. So I just moved up here and got a job, helped pay the bills with mom. I was young enough to, rebuild in a different area, and it worked pretty well.
um yeah. So, well, I mean, I moved from Colorado to Florida with my folks, and I've been going to school here for the past 6 years. So, it's
Ugh.
it's pretty good. So, uh,
Yeah, Johnny Jonestown Bear became one with the Force. He is now a Force ghost. Just to answer any of those questions going forward.
yeah. I mean, we might as well address that. In all, yeah, in all seriousness, nothing bad happened. You know, Johnny slash Jonestown Bear, like all of us, needs a break from all of this internet drama. So, uh, so Alan put it, best. He became one with the Force, and
He's not gone. He's don't you remember fucking Obi-Wan and even Anakin, they can help after they're gone. They're one with the Force. It's fine. I mean, that's obviously a metaphor because they died, and Jonestown Bear's fine. But you know what I mean.
yeah, All right, so what is calling in? So we will merge. Ah, I
Yeah.
I just missed it. I should have. Okay, call again. So what? It hung up as soon as I wanted to hit the merge button. So sorry, we're having technical difficulties here, but this is why it's so entertaining. So
We're doing it live, folks.
we're doing it live. Fuck it. No green screens either. So yeah.
Fuck me.
Are you outside doing this, Apex?
I am, yeah.
Wow, you must really love me then to be out in Michigan at night. Um, you know,
In November? November's that shit compared to fucking January and February, man.
well, January is when my birthday is, so
Well, my birthday is in December.
oh, happy
I,
happy early birthday then.
well,
So
fuck you. Happy early birthday to you. And happy early birthday for the next year since we're just doing it whenever. Just going all willy nilly.
yeah,
I'm just kidding, man.
let me see here if I can go back and let's see. Let's see. All right, let's. Oh, what? Oh, Skype. So what is from Germany? Oh, okay. That makes, I guess, sense. So.
What happened?
Oh, I finally found the right. I finally found the right contact. So, all right, guys. Hopefully this will be a lot better. So.
It will go. It will go so well.
Yeah, Obi-Wan
Hello.
can porcelains.
Hello?
Hey,
Oh,
so what?
hi.
How you doing, man?
Hi, hi, Sam. Wait a second. Sorry for this, for the shit quality here with my stream.
You sound fantastic to me. Actually,
Thank you. That's big
thank you.
because I'm fantastic.
What's going on,
No,
buddy?
hey,
Hey,
hello.
hey, hey! Thanks for coming on. So,
Greetings, first of all, to you, to your guest, colleague, and to all your audience.
Oh,
so
welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
on.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah.
What do you got going on tonight? What are you up to?
I'm up to go. It involves drinking a beer,
nice.
a good German beer. Yeah. Also smoking cigarettes and yeah, it's weekend. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So,
I am also drinking a beer. Unfortunately, it's
That,
not German beer. It's
yeah.
American. It's American piss water, but it gets me drunk, and it's the weekend, like you said. So
I was drinking a beer before the show.
Oh,
So,
sorry. I made a mis- Sorry. I That is my bad. What is there's an
what?
echo?
Pause
Oh,
the
sorry.
stream.
There's an echo. I
Yeah, pause the stream or mute the stream.
yeah. I I think he's I think You just muted yourself on Skype, but yeah, he's muting the stream.
I now it will be back.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now. So
Aha. See, that is all the fault of Skype, not of me. It's not
Yeah.
because I'm drunk and don't know how to use Skype.
no, it's well, I mean, we've established that Skype is a crappy software to use. So
Still better than Google Hangouts. Like seriously, because I don't know. Have you ever been deleted by Google, by YouTube? On because no, because if YouTube deletes your channel, ne, you lose everything. Ne? You start with 0 subscribers, and all the people you were subscribed to and friends with on your Google Hangouts, on your YouTube channel, they are all gone. Ne?
Yep.
So,
yep,
That's exactly right.
that is why I use Skype. I know this shit. Sorry, I apologize. I know it is Schmidt.
Please don't. Please do not censor your fancy German, German accented American cuss words. Please, the Whitfield Report is open to all curse words. I hope I can speak for you in this, Sammy.
absolutely, you can. So.
Yeah, always be, YouTube for some reason doesn't like swear words.
Well, they don't like to monetize swear words, but you have to. They keep raising the bar for what you have to have in order for them to even let you consider putting ads on. And one of those things, as far as I know, is 1,000, or is it 1,500 or 2,000 subscribers now?
It's 1,000. At least I hope it's still 1,000, because if it's 1,500, I'm never getting monetized on here. So.
It's like they're gonna keep raising it. We'll get a little bit closer, but then they'll just keep raising it. We'll get to 1,000 subs and they'll raise it to 1,500. We'll get to 1,400 subs, they'll raise it to 2,000.
And yet somehow Owen is still fully monetized. He has his members chat back. So
that's all on his backup channel, though, isn't it?
I once had a bigger channel and was monetized, no?
You were?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That is not my first channel, no? That is my 11th here, no? So that is the AdSense revenue that, they send you envelopes where it says AdSense, no? On the 15th. And I assume you are talking about Owen Benjamin now, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My God, I would never call him a con artist or scammer. That piece. I would also not call him a piece of you know what, no? Who is lying to all his bear
fags.
People. Owen Benjamin cashed in. Some people allege that Owen Benjamin in fact lies all the time. He cashed in the money, then pretended not to be monetized anymore while having cashed in all the money. Then funded money because he's a grift bear. No?
Mm-hmm.
I call him a problem bear. Like in the animal kingdom, no?
Yeah.
Some bears are problem bears, no? And it is, and the people he surrounds himself with. At least in my case, it is people like, okay, maybe like myself, a little bit not so much heroes of society, but still. But this Owen surrounds himself with people like a Vox Day,
Mm-hmm.
who. Sorry, I talk all the time. Sorry,
no,
I talk.
Continue,
no,
please.
It's fine.
Very briefly. This Vox Day, you will all know that he raised via GoFundMe or whatnot thing like $28,000, no? And then more than 600, more than $500,000 for leather-bound books that he did not even write, and that he doesn't deliver. But he basically cashed in $500,000 and says very slowly, "Hello, I'm the
Yeah.
dark overlord." But some people buy that. Ne? He's a total scam and con artists, both of them. Ne?
Well, listen, I have many examples of Owen Benjamin blatantly lying on my channel. I have hundreds of examples of him scamming and or other versions of lying, I guess you could call it. But
Yeah.
there's no doubt in my mind that they both are. They're a grifter match made in heaven. The two of them. It's and I mean that because Vox Day. I think Vox Day is pretty smart. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a genius, but I also don't think Owen is as stupid as I thought he was for a long time.
They are
I
both
do.
clever.
Right. That's a good way to put it. I think that they're both clever, and with their minds together, and the fervent audience that Owen had already whipped up, it just was a perfect storm of. I mean, because I can't even fathom the amount of money that from unauthorized.tv that offers them nothing. I guess they have some exclusive content now, 7 months later, but there's still no streaming that was promised. There's no chat but that was promised, no comment sections that was promised, or all the promises and no delivery, just money. And people keep what are you going to do? People keep giving it to them. I wish I could shake them like a bad baby, but I can't. It's the internet, so the best thing I can do is make shitty videos and laugh at him and hope that some on the fence bear will see it and go, you know what, this asshole's right. Owen's an idiot and a liar.
Yeah.
that's my hope. But ultimately, I do it for a laugh. It's fun, and the internet's fun. Use it for what it is. That's why I like the Mr. Medicare approach. I keep calling it that. Just use the internet to laugh at things and people.
That's what Al Gore invented it for. So at least I'm pretty sure. So.
Sounds legit, man.
Bear.
But
man, this is awesome having a random guest, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it is. Thanks for calling in. So what? So.
No. Thank you. So shall I hang up now?
No.
Okay. No, I happy to stay in, but.
If you want to, but we're happy to have you along if you have any if you have any topics you want to bring up. So.
Yeah, sure. So apart from both of you, there's also, for example, David Crocco, who talks about Owen Benjamin. You will all know. I mean, you had streams with him, no?
Yeah.
He's a good guy. Yeah, exactly. Or and other people. And I just want to say, I don't know. I have a hard time kind of with like hating on Benjamin, because I don't want to hate upon retards. Although they are scammers. No, but I want to thank you for inviting me in. Yeah?
Oh,
cool guy.
You're welcome.
You.
Thanks.
And your guest and or co-host. I don't know. No.
My name is Apex Gamma, sir. I am I'm a frequent guest and friend of Sam here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could call me an infrequent co-host at this point.
Yeah. So
that is what I mean. And if all bridges would burn down, like with streaming, thing I want to say is, like, for example, if BitChute should go down, which I don't think, but who knows? No? There are also always other alternatives. Like, Josh Who TV, or you name it, ne?
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So
Absolutely. Yeah, we will survive. We, the internet scourge, the underbelly, the creators, the
exactly.
no the no what do you call it? The no good doers, I guess you could say. Just, what those are that perceived that way.
The
Again,
deplorables, maybe. I don't know
Yeah.
what I
horrible.
am. I'm a lunatic. Okay, so thanks for having me on, ne? I
Oh,
will
You have
hang up
listen.
now, ne?
oh,
You have a wonderful evening, my
you
friend. It
too.
was
Yeah,
wonderful talking.
you as well. A
Thanks for
wonderful
calling
weekend,
in.
ne?
So,
Yeah, thanks, man.
Okay,
Have a good night.
bye.
all right,
Bye.
bye.
That
That
was so cool, man.
that was cool. Yeah, I don't.
Tell you,
I
I
think
told you it was awesome.
yeah, that's the first time in like a year that I've had a caller on stream. So,
And look how well it went, Sammy. That was awesome. I enjoyed
yeah.
that.
Well, that explains the one that explains the one German listener that I have downloading the podcast too. So that makes, sense. So Random Bot says, "Thank you, John McAfee." Yeah, that's pretty good. So so um yeah, I mean,
That was so funny. I had that slow burn to the I can't make fun of retards. That was comedy gold. I might have to go back over this podcast and clip that, just because
feel free
that's
to feel
that was
feel free to start Sam Whitfield clips, Apex Gamma. So
oh man, that's a good idea actually.
Amethyst says Sam has a twin. I guess so. In Germany, I guess I have a doppelganger. So that smokes. So I mean, I actually like the Germans now. I do. So um so
Hey, listen, I am more German than I am anything. The only thing that I wasn't was born in Germany. My mother was, my father was,
really,
and all of their family. Yeah. So, excuse me. Yes, sir.
um
Very much German. My grandfather used to curse the Jews to the day he died at the end of every movie when the credits rolled, because he was raised in the Third Reich as a little boy. He was like a Hitler Youth type thing for like most of his like early childhood. It was pretty fucked up.
in
But he was an incredibly talented man. But he just, he was raised with the hatred for a certain kind of people, I guess you could say.
uh yeah, that I guess that makes sense. Well, I had a grandfather on my mom's side. Technically, it was my mom's stepdad, but my mom's stepdad, he served in World War II, and he went into the service at age 17. No, actually, he went in at age 16 and had his mother sign custody for him. So he went in and served in the war, and he was the second wave into D-Day, and at D-Day, and he was the third wave, I think, at Dachau. So he saw what happened in the camps, and yeah, he hated the he hated the Germans for
Yeah.
for it.
Well,
So
it's yeah, I mean, as I could imagine, it was a polarizing time for many people across the world
suppose
back then.
supposedly he also executed like a Nazi general during the war, which was against the which was against like the war conditions. So, nah, I just
Yeah.
so I just outed a dead guy. So,
Oh no.
so
Oh no.
now they're gonna
He,
drag
he
his
was
now they're gonna drag his
he
corpse up and put him on trial. So,
yeah, for killing Nazis. In this day and age, the leftist mob would eat him alive.
so,
Oh, dude.
so.
So what else you got, Sammy? What else is going on? What's new? What's happening?
What do you think of this? Did we talk at the impeachment hearing already, or?
No, we didn't. I brought it up when Pelosi first announced did that fucking deadpan fucking drone on TV about the announcement of the impeachment inquiry. That was, a couple months ago, I think. But it was like at the end of the show, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I don't know. Good night." But no, yeah, we haven't really discussed that at all. Actually, I
Um,
unfortunately haven't been able to keep up with it.
yeah, I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to really keep up with the impeachment either. But here's the thing. I don't think it's going to affect Trump all that, much in the long term. Especially now, John Duncan was telling me that I guess the FBI is in trouble because they were messing with the FISA warrants. So the impeachment hearing might get thrown out, entirely. So
Well, I still stand. I don't know who I first saw this, express this opinion, but I still think it stands to reason that if whatever they throw at him, if they don't like actually impeach him, they are only ensuring further his reelection. I mean, that seems pretty simple to me because it's literally been 4 years of constant accusations, all of which have, well, I mean, can't say, but all the big ones, the Russia Gate and the fucking the Steele dossier and all the other nonsense that's gone on. It's all been, it looks like a witch hunt. He's been calling it a witch hunt for years now, and it to the average normie, it looks that way. You know, they throw impeachment out in his final, bit of his first term, and if that doesn't stick, it's gonna sway more voters his direction, in my opinion. Honestly,
yeah, well, who? Well, also to answer so what to answer so what's question. So feel free to partially clip this and download this, or do whatever. I'll probably clip excerpts of this onto my channel too. But yeah, I mean honestly, like the whole thing with Trump is he perfect? No, but I wasn't expecting a perfect president from Trump from day one. I'd rather have like a I'd rather have a brash, asshole kind of guy like he can be sometimes rather than like a super smooth talking squeaky clean, facade like Obama or Clinton. So
yeah,
so
yeah, for sure. And I would also take him over the doddering idiot that George Bush was perceived to be, George Bush Jr.
I go back and forth on Bush. I don't think he was as bad as some people think he was. I don't think he did. I don't think he was responsible for 9/11 like Alex Jones claims. Simply because George Bush seemed like a guy who could not keep a secret like that. If that makes sense. It's
We
in.
must we must stop the terrorists at any cost. Now watch this drive.
so so I didn't realize until a few years ago that Bush was also like a party boy alcoholic too. And so
Oh yeah,
after finding that out, there's no way that he could have done 9/11. So
well, I don't think it's so much as doing 9/11 as just, being an integral part of, a willing cog in a machine. He may not have initiated, but was definitely part of, kind of thing. Kind of like Pearl Harbor. It's like we didn't make the Japanese bomb us, but we certainly didn't tell our people that they were coming, even though we knew they were. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so same kind of. I imagine the same kind of thing. It's like, well, there's terrorists taking over fucking planes right now, but we gave them the bombs and we told them where to fly. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I remember being in. I'm pretty sure it was in eighth grade, and I was going into science class, and I remember seeing like unusual hustle and bustle in the hallways in between periods. And I walked into my science class, and I can't remember my teacher's name, but he was a fucking giant, fucking half bald dude. Like just top of his head was bald, and then he had hair on the side. Anyway, he's like wheeling in a TV, and he's like all flush. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was so serious. He's like, "There's something happening, kids," and he turns on the TV, and I mean, over the intercom was just so and so come to the office. Everybody was getting pulled out of school, and I went home and watched the shit on TV, and like, even as like what? How fucking old was I? 14, 15, something. I don't know. But I was young enough that like at part of me was like, this is wild, almost kind of cool. Like, when do planes fly into buildings? But the whole thing, even as a kid, I'm like, how do planes fly into buildings, and then how do planes knock buildings down? Um, and
Yeah.
I don't remember any like the conspiracy talk as a kid. I just remember like the raw like feelings and like memory of just watching it on TV and like what I was thinking as it was happening. And I mean, I guess it's been so long. I suppose my memory could have been corrupted by all the fucking shit since then, but I don't think so. It doesn't seem that way to me anyway. But
I
yeah, you know, go ahead.
well, I mean, I was I was like 6 or 7 when that happened, and you know, like they say that you can't really remember events from that age, but that's certainly one that I that I do remember because of two things. One that was like, well, I mean, obviously that was like the first big national like tragedy that happened within my lifetime, and
Yeah.
B, we had actually been planning on going to New York City for like one of my school breaks at that time
Oh
too.
wow.
I had wanted to go to New York City because I was like a big, you know, I was a big Marvel fan as like a kid, still am somewhat, but like as a kid I wanted to go to New York City because that was where Spider Man lived.
Oh yeah.
Um, so um, so I remember you know 9/11 happening, and uh, then we were one of the first flights actually allowed to to go into the city. Like
Oh, you guys still went.
yeah, like a month later, we were one of the first flights in, and I one of the only things I remember is one of the only things I remember, but this is why 9/11 sticks in my head is because I can remember the smell of burning steel in Manhattan. I mean, it was pungent. We could smell it like all the way from where we were, which was pretty far away from the trade center, but still it was just, I mean, you could smell it, burning
Dang.
steel and burning metal. So,
Oh yeah, that's because this shit was molten in the fucking footprint of the building for like a month afterwards. Because that's what happens when planes run into buildings. Sam, don't you know that?
yeah, I mean, I mean, who knows? The
I'm just kidding, man.
maybe the plane didn't, itself, but I mean, who knows what the jihadis did? I certainly believe that it was certainly, whether or not it was, directly, done by planes or whatever. I definitely do believe that there was a jihadist, radical Islam element to it. That is still out there, you know.
Well, I mean, I I can't really argue that, but what I can argue and what sticks out to me, and I think most people, most normies that don't really care about conspiracies and shit, that if they are feel inclined to look into it, that it just doesn't. There's so much about the physics of the plane hitting the building. Like there would have had to have been jihadis in the building prior to that set up explosives, and of course, Building 7 and free fall speed and all the same arguments that we've all heard time and time again. They they're arguments that we've heard time and time again because they are legitimate. They are actual, like, scientifically backed by my at least by my understanding of most of them. You know, jet fuel doesn't melt steel. Nothing the building was built out of could have burned hot enough to melt steel, much less be molten for several weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
All that shit. So it's like, to me, it seems, I don't know who it was. I wish I knew it was some congressman or senator or something, like uh, September 12th or September 13th or 15th or shortly after the tragedy, and he was like giving this passionate speech in front of Congress about how if the trade centers hadn't been hit, how the deficit would have, or something would have happened in the world of global finance that would have collapsed or crippled uh, parts of. I don't remember. It's been years since I've seen it, but it was like, it just seemed like convenient. I mean, that was kind of the argument this senator, whoever was making, was that it had those buildings not fallen that morning by noon that day, the stock markets would have crashed. Period. The rate that things were going. There was a lot of some other. I don't know. Again, it's all so convoluted. It's hard to keep track of what's true and what's not, and I think that's what deters what's the most average people, especially older people, from looking into this stuff. And people can be swayed by the flat Earth. There are a lot of people that believe the Earth is flat still, and I believe that is a direct consequence of the internet and people being free to be creative and misuse. It's freedom for people to be lazy. Because we all have an imagination. Some of us have more active imaginations than others. So my overly active imagination puts some loose facts together and misquotes some science and puts it all in a flashy video, and uh, 1,000 or 500,000 impressionable youths with an equal or close to active imagination are like, you know what, this makes sense. And it's hard to maneuver for the average person, I guess, and including things that are blatantly obvious when you really look at it.
yeah,
Um,
and also I'm not even discounting, I'm not even discounting, the fact that, like, there could have been a conspiracy with 9/11. I certainly think that that could be the case. You know, but I think there's a fine line between the government did it and it's all the president's fault, and then, it was purely, just a jihadi attack. Like, I think there's something probably in between those two. So
Yeah, there's definitely room for nuance, and there's almost, by my perspective, there's almost infinite room for nuance between those two, which is why it's so effective. Because, you know, I mean, again, there's a lot of things about the whole thing that don't add up. As far as my understanding or my recollection of things go, is weren't most of these hijackers confirmed Saudis? They were Saudi nationals. Right. So Saudi Arabia is an ally. So, I mean, not to say that there aren't jihadis recruited from Saudi Arabia, but that in and of itself is whatever. And then you figure in all the other, you know,
yeah,
science and physics based evidence, and that's where I stand. I don't know what the fuck happened, and it hurts my head to speculate. But of course, I don't think that the president said yes. Let's blow these buildings down. But non-compliance or compliance or again, Pearl Harbor, to use Pearl Harbor again as an example, that shit's fucking, that's out there. Um, it's basically fact that we, as far as again, unless I'm misremembering, it's like documented that we basically received warning and just ignored it, or didn't pass it along, or it was failed to be passed along, or something to that degree.
yeah. I mean,
Which pulled us into the greatest conflict man has ever seen, armed conflict.
now I mean, in terms of blatant conspiracies that I do believe in, I certainly believe that the Kennedy assassination was, that there was some shady shit behind, Kennedy's assassination. So, um,
I see Kennedy and 9/11 in the same light, kind of. They're like, I don't think that Lyndon B. Johnson was the one that orchestrated the whole ordeal, but I also don't think that he wasn't in on it. And JFK was threatening a lot of people, from illegal crime to legal crime. Um, the Federal Reserve and the CIA and all that other shit. So, a collaborative effort, not just between letter agencies within our own nation, but foreign nations and their intelligence agencies and stuff. Whether we're talking Mossad or Saudi Arabia or the countless others that have interests across the world, and who knows who's holding what fucking cards. It's you know
yeah,
they say follow the money, but they just keep printing more of it, making more of it up. It's like.
yeah. I mean, I certainly think that, with the Kennedy assassination, I mean, I kind of go with James Elroy's conspiracy that it was largely probably mob involved. That it was either the mob or the commies. But I also think that, I mean, LBJ, and I've said this before, LBJ is one of the worst presidents that we've had, in
Yeah.
American history. You want to talk about someone who was a racist, like if
You ever see the photos, like the sequential photos of him, like right after Kennedy actually, like it was like at the hospital where he was like pronounced dead and whatever. There's people all around him, and Kennedy's getting sworn, or LBJ's getting sworn in, and he looks, these two sequence of photos. He like looks up in a crowded room of people, at people close to him, and then he's like winking at this dude who's like smiling at him. And this was within minutes of Kennedy dying. His his president.
yeah,
Again, I don't know enough, but to know the goings on. There's so many possibilities. That's why they're conspiracy theories. Uh, and that's why they're so easily discredited, because there's so many possibilities that any one that people latch onto has, you know, countless potential holes in it, because who the fuck knows? Were you there? Did you did you bury the guy that actually shot Kennedy? And did you know that that was the guy that shot Kennedy when you buried him? I mean, I always think of that movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it. This movie called Shooter.
Oh
It's
yeah.
Mark Wahlberg. I fucking love that movie. But
Yeah.
that old man that he meets out in the woods in Tennessee, that's like uh, somewhere he's talking about a hill where he buried the guys that killed Kennedy are buried, and he's like, "How do you know that?" He's like, "Still got the shovel." It's like fucking oh shit, good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Bruce Willis is fantastic in that movie too. So
Is Bruce Willis in that movie? I don't know if Bruce Willis is in that movie.
I I
We might be thinking of different movies
oh
because I'm thinking Michael. I think it's Michael Pena is the little Mexican guy's name, and then Mark Wahlberg are the main characters.
oh yeah, we are thinking of different movies. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
because Shooter. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm thinking of the movie where Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays an assassin, and then Bruce Willis is like is him in the future.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, Shooter is like a Hollywood story of Lee Harvey Oswald, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
It's I really like that movie actually. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it's a good action movie.
So
But yeah. So, what time is it, Sammy?
it
It is,
is it is one where I am, and it's late for you, and I don't want to keep you out in the cold. So let's see, we're at like an hour and 51 minutes, so that's pretty damn good, I would say. So.
listen, this is the debut Apex Samma show.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, dude, I laughed. I was standing at work and I literally, a literal LOL when I saw that notification because your Twitter is one of the few that I have like notifications for. So anytime you post a new Whitfield Wire, or that's why I always like them because
Uh,
you're one of the only people that I have on notifications. But as soon as I saw that Apex Samma show, dude, like I cracked up laughing. I actually had people looking at me because I
well,
look like a crazy person just laughing in the middle of a fucking store.
I understand that because I'll be listening to Joe Rogan's podcast sometimes when I'm at school, and he'll say something, or whenever he has Joey Diaz on, I have to be careful
Oh fuck, Joey, Uncle Joey.
because Uncle Joey will start saying will say something, and I will die laughing in like the middle of like the library or whatever, and people are looking at me, and I have to always go, sorry, sorry. So,
Sorry, yeah, right. That's so funny.
but anyway, yeah. Thanks for joining me for the Apex Samus show, and hopefully this will
Well,
be.
I'm gonna stay with you till you close the show out, man. If you're not closing the show out, then I'm still here.
Well, I mean, we're at 2 hours, and we're at eight viewers now. So
Okay. All
I
right. Well,
I think some people are winding down, but anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching Apex and and for listening to this. If you're on the audio podcast, we've covered a lot of topics, and
and thanks to So What for
yes,
joining us as
yes,
a guest caller.
yes, thanks for calling in. So what, or George, as you've said, and yeah, I mean, feel free to clip this and use put this up on your
Spread
channel.
it.
I don't mind. I'm not gonna copyright strike you or
Oh, I
anything.
fucking will.
I'm I I only have 540 subscribers, so it's not like I would have anything to gain. So, but yeah,
Yeah. Thanks everybody. Thanks for having me, Sammy. It's always a pleasure. Chat. I love you.
I love you too. No homo. So, well,
Maybe a little homo. Maybe a little homo.
maybe a little. So, you know, uh, I don't want to make Evil Eric too jealous, but
No, listen, dude. You haven't figured it out. That's how you get him. You got to make him jealous.
that's true. So I'll see you both behind a dumpster here soon. So, um, we're not sure how frequent we'll do this because I know that Apex is busy on Saturdays and I'm pretty busy, but we'll try and do this as much as possible. So
Sammy,
anyway,
you know what? From nine, oh, okay. Sorry, go ahead. Close it
oh,
up.
but anyway, from all of us here at NGC Studios and out in freezing cold Michigan, good night, God bless, God save this great nation, and as Neri likes to say, God, freedom, legacy in that order.